Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, seventh chapter. So, last time we saw Kame Sithirthagyana Prapadyante Anyadevataha. Whoever's intelligence is stolen, they will worship Anyadevataha. Tam Niyamamasthaya Prakritya Niyataha Swayaha. They will follow some rules and regulations according to their nature. That means it is not there in the scriptures. They'll just do whatever comes in their mind. According to their nature, whatever rules and regulations they have to do, they will follow that. Now today, 7th chapter, 21st verse. Yo yo yam yam tanum bhaktaha shraddhaya chitumicchati tasya chalam shraddham tameva dadhamyaham. Yo yo yam yam tanum bhaktaha. Keep your videos on. Yo yo yam yam tanum bhaktaha shraddhayarchitamicchati tasya chalam shraddham tameva vidadhamyaham. Girija Mataji, chant this verse. Unmute yourself. Unmute.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yo yo yam yam tanu bhakta shraddhyarchitam iccati tasya chalam shraddham tameva vidyarmayaham.
Yo yo yam yam tanum bhaktaha shraddhayarchitumicchati tasya chalam shraddham tameva vidadhamyaham. Devaki Mataji, can you chant this verse? Unmute.
Yeah. Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. Yo yo yam yam tanum bhaktaha shraddhyarchitam ichchati tasya chalam shraddham.
You should chant in the raga which I am chanting. That is Anushtuk Chantaha.
Okay.
Yo yo yam yam tanum bhaktaha
shraddhyarchitam ichchati
shraddhaya ichchati
shraddhayam ichchati
shraddhayarchitum
shraddhayarchitum ichchati. Tasya chalam shraddham tameva vidyamyaham.
Tasya chalam shraddham tameva vidadhamyaham.
Tasya chalam shraddham tameva vidyamyaham.
Tameva vidadhamyaham.
Tameva vidadhamyaham.
Yaha yam yam. Yaha means whoever. Yam yam, whichever. Tanum, form of a demigod. Bhaktaha. Bhaktaha, a devotee. Shraddhaya architum, with faith to worship. A devotee in whatever form he worships. Let us see. Ichhatihi, with some desire. Tasya achalam shraddham. I bestow a steady, achalam means steady. Tasya, to him, shraddham, faith. Tam eva vidadhamyaham, I give. So, Krishna is staying in everyone's heart as Paramatma. Krishna is a super soul. So, as soon as somebody desires something, Krishna makes his faith unto him steady. Like somebody has a faith on particular deity, then immediately Krishna, what he does, a particular demigod, Krishna makes his faith steady. Like some people worship Sai Baba. And most of the time, for those person, the things will happen on Thursdays. Then immediately, Sai Baba has to. I have seen practically, my mother is an example for that. Even my son born on Thursday, she said, oh, It's Sai Baba's gift. So that is how she used to relate everything to Sai Baba. And her work every time is to get accomplished on Thursdays. So her faith on Sai Baba increased. Now Krishna says, it is I who make that faith steady. It is not that Sai Baba gives. Nobody has a capacity to give. It's only Krishna who gives. Even the faith is made steady by only Krishna. Krishna stays in everyone's heart as per soul. So if a particular person has a faith towards someone, Krishna makes his faith steady. Like for some people, like who are all Ganapati worshippers, their work will be accomplished mostly on Tuesdays. Durga worshippers, their work will be accomplished on Fridays. Hanuman worshippers on Saturdays. Immediately, the faith is so steady. Oh, it is only because I chanted every Saturday Hanuman Chalisa. That is why Hanuman must be thinking, hey, I am not the one who is the giver, it's Ram who is the giver. So that is how Krishna, what he does. Krishna is very, very smart. He intentionally makes that faith steady. Because he knows the people have come with material desires. Kame steste rutagyana prapatyante anya devataha. Why they have gone to the demigod? Because they are having so much of material desires. And Krishna says, what he has to do with me? If he has material desires, let him go to demigods. And demigods will give them. Material desires are given by the demigods. And whatever they are giving is also not permanent. It will be there only for some time. It is temporary. It is not so easy to get Krishna. Krishna easily does not give himself. It's not so easy. He can give everything. He can give all the material desires also. But then to give himself to a devotee, he thinks twice or thrice. He may be thinking more than that also. But Krishna likes to give the material desires through the demigods. Okay, you have material desires, take it. Get it accomplished by a demigod. So the faith in the demigod is made steady by Krishna only. Okay. Aswani Prabhu, please read. Read the purport.
Yes, Mataji. Purport. God has given independence to everyone. Therefore, if a person desires to have material enjoyment and wants very sincerely to have such facilities from the material demigods, the Supreme Lord as Super Soul in everyone's heart understands and gives facilities to such persons. As the Supreme Father of all living entities, he does not interfere with their independence, but gives all facilities so that they can fulfill their material desires. Some may ask why the all-powerful God gives facilities to the living entities for enjoying this material world and so lets them fall into the trap of illusionary energy. The answer is that if the Supreme Lord as Supreme Soul does not give such facilities, then there is no meaning to independence. Therefore, he gives everyone full independence, whatever one likes. But his ultimate instruction we find in Bhagavad Gita, one should give up all other engagements and fully surrender unto him. That will make man happy. Both the living entities and demigods are subordinate to the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the living entity cannot worship the demigod by his own desire, nor can the demigod bestow any benediction without the supreme will. As it is said, not a blade of grass moves without the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Generally, persons who are distressed in material world go to the demigods as they are advised in the Vedic literature. A person wanting some particular thing may worship such and such a demigod. For example, a deceased person is recommended to worship the sun god. A person wanting education may worship goddess of learning, Saraswati, and a person wanting a beautiful wife may worship the goddess Uma, the wife of Lord Shiva. In this way, there are recommendations in the Shastras, Vedic scriptures, for different modes of worship for different demigods. And because a particular living entity wants to enjoy a particular material facility, The Lord inspires him with a strong desire to achieve this benediction from the particular demigod, and so he successfully achieves the benediction. The particular mode of devotional attitude of the living entity towards a particular type of demigod is also arranged by the Supreme Lord. The demigods cannot infuse the living entity with such an affinity, but because he is the Supreme Lord or the Super Soul who is present in hearts of all living entities, Krishna gives impetus to man to worship certain demigods. The demigods are actually different parts of the universal body of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, they have no independence. In the Vedic literature, it is stated the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Super Soul is also present within the hearts of the demigod. Therefore, he arranges through the demigods to fulfill the desire of the living entity. But both the demigod and the living entity are dependent on the Supreme Will. They are not independent. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So demigods and living entities both are not independent. Even the demigods are dependent on Krishna for bestowing the benediction onto the living entity. Now let us see the next verse. Sataya Shraddhaya Yuktas Tasyaradhanamihate Labate cha tatha kaman Mayyeva vihitan hitan Sataya Shraddhaya Yuktas. When I'm chanting, you also chant behind. Unmute yours, don't unmute. Muted only you chant. I can see your lips moving. Sataya Shraddhaya Yuktas Tasyaradhanamihate Labate cha tatha kaman Mayyeva vihitan hitam. It's a beautiful verse. Sataya Shraddhaya Yuktas Tasyaradhanam ihate Labate cha tatha kaman Mayyeva vihitan hitan. Jakan Prabhu, please chant the verse.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम सतया श्रद्धया युक्त तस्याराधनमीहते लभते च ततः कामान् मय्येव विहितानि चान् मय्येव विहितानि तान्
Shilpa Mataji, chant the verse. Shilpa.
Yes, Mataji. सतया श्रद्धया युक्तस्तस्याराधनमथटे लभते
Tasyaradhanam ihate. Ihate.
तस्याराधनम् ईहते लभते च ततः कामान् ममैव विहितान् हितान्
Mayyeva.
मयि मयै
Mayyeva.
मय्येव
Mayyeva.
मय्येव मय्येव मय्
Mayyeva.
मय्यैव विहितान् हितान्
Mayaiva. 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 That is why while chanting Mayaiva. Mayaiva vihitan hitan Sataya Shraddhaya Yukta Tasyaradhanamihate Labate cha tatha kaman Mayyeva vihitan hitan. Okay. Sataya Shraddhaya Yukta Tasyaradhanam ihate Labate cha tatha kaman Mayyeva vihitan hitan. Sataya. Sa means he. Who is that he? He who has so much of material desires. He who has gone to some other devata with all the material desires. He who has so much of faith in other devata. So that inspiration, Shraddhayaha, is endowed. Shraddhaya Yuktas, he is endowed with so much of faith. Towards whom? Tasya. Towards whom? To that demigod, to that particular demigod, Tasya. Saha Tasya. See, there is two words. Saha means he, Tasya means that demigod. What is there with the demigod? Yuktaha. He is endowed. Yuktaha Shraddhaha. So this person is endowed with so much of faith in that particular demigod. Aradhanam. Aradhanam means he is worshipping the demigod. Why? Because he is endowed with that faith towards the demigod. Aradhanam. Ihate. Ihate means he is aspiring to worship. He loves to worship. He likes to take so much of tapasya for that particular demigod. Many people do so much of tapasya. They fast on that particular day, or they may walk and go to the particular devata. A lot of hard work they do to please the demigod. He aspires to worship. Then what happens? There is always paraspara bhav. The demigod is also happy. Then he also gets labhate cha tathaha. He gets from whom he gets his desire fulfilled. Seems to be from that particular demigod. Seems that the particular demigod is very happy and he has given that particular boon to him. Like many people have, like once in a year I will come to Shirdi. They'll take all the desires and go to Shirdi, and the desires are fulfilled. When the desires are fulfilled, then they think that, oh, that particular demigod has given. But here Krishna says very clearly, Maya eva havitan hitan. Actually, I give the benefit. Nobody can give anything because they don't have anything. Even the demigods are also dependent on Krishna. To give something, they are dependent on Krishna. They have to get it from Krishna. Then only they can give it to others. That means, though it comes through the demigod, it is actually given by Krishna to the demigod. Krishna says, I give that. These benefits are bestowed by me alone. So the material benefits are also given by Krishna. Seems to be got by some particular demigod. So that is what is given here. Sataya Shraddhaya Yuktas. He has the type of faith towards whom? Tasya. Towards that particular demigod. That is why he is doing that type of aradhana. Aradhanam. Ihate. He aspires to do that. Labhate cha tatha kaman. He gets that. But Krishna says, Mayeva. I give. Vihitan hitan. Vihitan means that such type of arrangement actually I give, Krishna says. Very clearly Krishna says. After reading Bhagavad Gita alone, my mother told me, I don't like this Krishna. I said, why? Oh, he always says, I. I said, only he can do I. Nobody else can do I. I word is only for Krishna. No one has the daring to say I. Even a demigod cannot say, I have given that. When demigods have no rights to say I. This I word only goes to Krishna. I had to break my head with her. That is why Bhagavad Gita should not be read alone. If somebody reads Bhagavad Gita alone, he may think, oh, Krishna has so much of ahankara. Aham, I, mayeva. There also aham. He said, na aham. In the previous verse also aham. Here also mayeva. Okay. Read the purport. Aswani Prabhu, read the purport.
Yes, Mataji.
Keep your videos on. Why videos off? Classroom means videos on.
Purport. The demigods cannot award benedictions to the devotees without the permission of the Supreme Lord. The living entity may forget that everything is the property of the Supreme Lord, but the demigods do not forget. So the worship of demigods and achievements of desired results are due not to the demigods but to the Supreme Personality of Godhead by arrangement. The less intelligent living entities do not know this, and therefore he foolishly goes to the demigods for some benefit. But the pure devotee, when in the need of anything, prays only to the Supreme Lord. Asking for material benefit, however, is not a sign of a pure devotee. A living entity goes to the demigods because he is mad to fulfill his lust. This happens when something undue is desired by the living entity and the Lord himself does not fulfill the desire. In the Chaitanya Charitramrita, it is said that one who worships the Supreme Lord and at the same time desires material enjoyment is contradictory to his desire. Devotional service to the Supreme God and the worship of demigod cannot be on the same platform, because worship of a demigod is material and devotional service to the Supreme Lord is completely spiritual. For the living entity who desires to return to Godhead, material desires are impediments. A pure devotee of the Lord is therefore not awarded the material benefits desired by less intelligent living entities, who therefore prefer to worship demigods of the material world rather than engaged in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So for every living entity who desires to return to Godhead, material desires are impediments. A pure devotee is therefore not awarded the material benefits. To whoever Krishna has bestowed a special favor, Krishna removes material benefit. What is that verse? Aruna Mataji. Remember that word, which is that verse which Srila Prabhupada should chant every time. You can tell that verse. Onto whoever Krishna has bestowed special mercy. Okay. Think. You know the verse. What is that verse? You should find out and tell. Homework for you. Onto whoever Krishna. Oh, yes, put the verse. Yasyam anugrahami.
यस्याम्
Yasyaham
अनुगृह्णामि
Harishe
हरिष्ये
tadhanam.
तद्धनं शनैः
Tato adhanam tijanti yasya
स्वजनं दुःखदुःखितम्
swajanam dukkha dukkhitam. Yasyam vai shri yasyam vai shri yasyaham
यस्याहम् अनुगृह्णामि
anugrahami. To whoever I have special mercy. To whoever I have bestowed special mercy. Yasyaham anugrahami. Harishe tadhanam shri. Krishna removes all the dhana. If anybody hears this verse, already they don't go to Krishna. After hearing this verse, who will go to Krishna? That is why this is not disclosed very openly. To whoever Krishna bestows a special mercy, Krishna removes the dhana. Then when the dhana is removed, who will come to you? Tato adhanam, now he has no dhana. Tejanti yasya, even the relatives also go away. Swajanam dukkha dukkhitam. On top of that, they all will go away, so that is why more dukkha will be there. Then you say, we have seen devotees having all the opulences. Yes, they have Lakshmi, they don't have dhana. There's a lot of difference between dhana and wealth and Lakshmi. They don't have material wealth. They don't hanker also for material wealth. But they have spiritual wealth, which they use it in Krishna's service. So to whoever Krishna has given a special mercy, they will always have spiritual wealth. They don't have material wealth. Material wealth is used for one's material sense gratification. But spiritual wealth, that means Lakshmi, is used for Krishna's service. It's very important. That is why devotees, they always have spiritual wealth. They have Lakshmi to serve Krishna. They don't have this word no. If you ask any time, devotees, please give this to service for the Krishna. They always have it. They don't have to be asked for. That is the speciality of a devotee. But he does not have any material wealth. If you tell him to come to some malls or some clubs and all these things, he doesn't have that. He said, I don't have that much money. But you say to him, you tell to him, this temple construction is there, I just want, he always has it. He doesn't have to be asked for. For Krishna's service, he has wealth. But for one's own material senses, he doesn't have any wealth. Antavattu phalam tesham tadbhavati alpamedasam devan devayajodyanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. Antavattu phalam tesham tadvatyalpamedasam devan devayajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. Aruna, read this verse. You read, I'll chant.
Hare Krishna.
You read, I'll
Antavattu
chant behind.
phalam tesham
Antavattu phalam tesham
tadbhavatyatpamedasam
tadbhavatyalpamedasam
devan devayajno yanti
devan devayajo yanti
madbhakta yanti mamapi.
madbhakta yanti mamapi. Antavattu phalam tesham yadbhav yadbhavatya yadbhavatyalpamedasam. You have to connect that. Bhavatya yadbhavat tadbhavatyalpamedasam devan devayajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. So antavattu phalam tesham. Antavat. So whatever fruits they give, whatever benefits demigod gives, then you say it is given by Krishna only, na? But they did not ask to Krishna. They asked to demigod. So Krishna says, okay, if they are asking to them, then that will be perishable. That fruits will be perishable, though I will only give. But they are getting it through demigod. They are not asked me. So whether it is beneficial for them or not, why I should be bothered? Like Bhasmasur asked Lord Shiva that onto whoever's head I keep my hand, that head should burst. Lord Shiva told Tathastu. That means that is given by whom? Indirectly, it is given by Krishna only. But did that boon last for a long time? No. So antavattu, there is always antaha. Antavat means it is always perishable. That fruits are always perishable. Tad bhavati alpamedasam. Why? Because they are those people who have worshipped demigods, they have small intelligence. That is why they are going to the demigods, Devan. Devayajaha. They are the worshippers of the demigods. Devayajaha means they are worshippers of the demigods. They have less intelligence, small intelligence. Yanti means they go. But my devotees, they have higher intelligence. Mad bhaktaha yanti mam api. Api. They come to me. So those who worship the demigods will go to the demigod planet. And their fruits are also limited and temporary. Those who worship me will come to my planet, Krishna says. Very clearly, Krishna says. And Krishna's abode is always eternal. And demigods' planets are temporary. The fruits are also temporary. The planet is also temporary. They are also temporary. Every living entity, they are also counted among the living entities only, but they are higher living entities. They are higher living entities. But whatever it may be, 14 planetary systems, the 14 planetary systems, they are also temporary only. They are temporary, but real. Sometimes they are said that they seem to be factual, but they are unreal. There was a question asked, how is it that, how to understand? We say this material world is real, but temporary. Somewhere it is written, it is factual plus unreal. That means what? It seems to be real, but actually it is unreal. Seems to be permanent, but it is not permanent. Seems to be temporary, but it is real. What is that? It is reflection of the original world. So reflection is also true only, but it is temporary. Reflection is not the original thing. It is a reflection of the original thing. But reflection is not that original thing. That is why it is unreal. Seems to be real. So that is why this material world itself is temporary. So naturally, the benefits are also given by the demigods are also temporary. That has been given. For those who are my devotees, they just worship me. And because of that, they come back to me. Okay, Chandrapati Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna.
Chandrapati. Yeah.
Some commentators on Bhagavad Gita say that one who worships
Voice is
demigod,
not clear, Prabhu. Voice is not clear. Purport. Purport of 23rd verse.
yeah, translation, men of small intelligence worship the demigods and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Some commentators on the Bhagavad Gita say that one who worships a demigod can reach the Supreme Lord, but here it is clearly stated that the worshippers of demigods go to the different planetary systems where various demigods are situated. Just as a worshipper of sun achieves the sun, or a worshipper of the demigod of the moon achieves the moon, similarly, if anyone wants to worship a demigod like Indra, he can attain that particular god's planet. It is not that everyone, regardless of whatever demigod is worshipped, will reach the supreme personality of Godhead. That is denied here, for it is clearly stated that the worshipper of demigods go to different planets in the material world, but the devotee of the Supreme Lord goes directly to the supreme planet of the personality of Godhead. Here the point may be raised that if the demigods are different parts of the body of the Supreme Lord, then the same end should be achieved by worshipping them. However, worshippers of the demigods are less intelligent because they
What happened?
However, worshippers of the demigods are less intelligent because they don't know to what parts of the body food must be supplied. Some of them are so foolish that they claim that there are many parts and many ways to supply food. This isn't very sanguine. Can anyone supply food to the body through the ears or eyes? They do not know that these demigods are different parts of the universal body of the Supreme Lord. And in their ignorance, they believe that each and every demigod is a separate god and a competitor of the Supreme Lord. Not only are the demigods parts of the Supreme Lord, but ordinary living entities are also. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that the Brahmanas are the head of the Supreme Lord. The Kshatriyas are his arm. The Vaishyas are his waist. The Sudras are his legs, and all serve different functions. Regardless of the situation, if one knows that both the demigods and he himself are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, his knowledge is perfect. But he does not understand this. He achieves different planets where the demigods reside. This is not the same destination the devotees reach. The results achieved by the demigod's benediction are perishable because within this material world, the planet, the demigods, and their worshippers are all perishable. Therefore, it is clearly stated in this verse that all results achieved by worshipping demigods are perishable, and therefore such worship is performed by the less intelligent living entity. Because the pure devotee engaged in Krishna consciousness in devotional service of the Supreme Lord achieves eternal blissful eternal blissful existence that is full knowledge, full of knowledge, his achievements and those of the common worshippers
Mm.
to gods are different. The Supreme Lord is unlimited. His favor is unlimited. His mercy is unlimited. Therefore, the mercy of the Supreme Lord upon his pure devotees is unlimited. Hare Krishna, Dhanmukha. Thank
So there is a verse from fourth chapter of fourth canto, 31st chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, 14th verse, 4.31.14. यथा तरोर्मूलनिषेचनेन तृप्यन्ते तत्स्कन्दभुजोपशाखा प्राणोपहाराचयतेन्द्रियाणां तथैव सर्वार्हणम् अच्युतेज्य यथा तरोर्मूलनिषेचनेन यथा तरोर means tree. If you water the root, यथा तरोर्मूलनिषेचनेन तृप्यन्ति tad bhujopashakaha. All the shakha, branches, everybody is satisfied. If you water the root, the branches, the twigs, the flowers, the leaves, everybody gets the water. In the same way, pranopaharacha yathendriyanam, pranopaharacha yathendriyanam. If you fill the stomach, all the other parts get the nourishment. Pranopaharacha yathendriyanam, ahara. Ahara you are giving to the prana. Prana means to the stomach. Then yathendriyanam, all the indriyas are also very satisfied. They are nourished. In the same way, sarva arhanam tathaiva. In the same way, tathaiva sarva arhanam achyutejya. If you worship Achyutaha, then automatically you are worshipping all the devatas. You don't have to worship any particular devatas. There are principal 12 devatas, but there are 33 crore Devi devatas. How many devatas will worship? And we don't know how to worship also. That is why you should remember this verse. Yatha taror moola nishechanena trupyanti tatskanda bhujopashaka pranopahara yatendriyanam tathaiva sarva arahanam achyutejya. If you worship Krishna, that is enough. Everybody is satisfied. That is why when we offer bhoga, what we say? What is the most important verse we say when we offer the bhoga? Aruna Mataji, what we say? Yes. What is the verse we say when we offer bhoga? What is the verse we say?
Namo Brahmanya Devaya, O Brahmanya Hitaya Cha.
Tell slowly na. Why you run like this? Tell nicely, smoothly na.
Namo Brahmanya Devaya.
Namo Brahmanya Devaya.
Go
Namo
Brahmanya
Brahmanya Devaya.
Go Brahmanya Hitaya Cha.
Jagat
Jagaditaya Krishnaya. Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Namo Brahmana Devaya. Go Brahmanitaya. Jagatitaya Krishna. Govindaya. So Krishna is a protector of Brahmanas. Krishna is a protector of the cows. So in this way, if Krishna is worshipped, everybody is worshipped. You don't have to separately worship anyone. Yatha taror moola nishechanena trupyanti tat skanda bhujopashaka. You have got the words in the screen. Pranopahara chitendriyanam. Tathaiva sarva arhanam. Sarva arhanam means worshipping. Sarva arhanam. Everybody is worshipped. When you are worshipping Krishna. Achyutejya. Ijjah means worshipping. Ijja means worshipping. Sarva arhanam is also worshipping. 2 times worship is given. Arhanam ijja. Ijja means achyutejya. Achyutaha ijja. You worship Achyutaha. Sarva arhanam. You have worshipped all the devatas. So in this way, this verse is very important verse, where very clearly it has been given that you worship Krishna, you get everything. You get his planet. And that is the topmost. You don't have to aspire for anything else. Because that is the only real thing. Other all things are only temporary. Antavattu, Krishna very clear says, Antavattu phalam desham, everything is going to be destroyed. Antavattu, very sure. You ask any demigod some benefit, it is going to be destroyed. Somebody asked me a question. As a morning, if we chant Krishna's name, can we chant Shiva's name in the evening? I told, why? Do you find anything short in Krishna's name? Everything is there in Krishna, everything is there. You don't have to worship anything alone. Because Lord Shiva is also worshipping Krishna only. Why disturb him? Every Devata is also into the worship of Krishna only. Why disturb? So Antavattu, that is Antavattu, Phalam. It will be only destroyed. Antavattu Phalam Tesham. Tad Bhavatyalpamedasam. Alpamedasam, very less intelligent people only worship. Devan Devaya Jo Yanti. If you worship Devatas, what will happen? You'll get Devata Loka. Mad Bhaktaha Yanti Mamapi. You'll get my abode. And which is permanent, which is real. Okay? Here we'll stop. Any questions? Next Sunday, no class. Next Sunday, class at Mysore. Okay, any questions? No questions. Should we stop here? Hare Krishna.